In this video, I'm gonna be ranking every single support from best to worst. Now, of course, before I start, I just want to say that this is only my opinion. So you might not agree with all of my take over here, but I will say though, I've done a lot of research on this video. I've researched what are the pro players think, if these champions are good or not. And this is also based from my experience, so I think I have a really good understanding where these champions are in this list. So in this list, we have S as best, A as strong, B as good, and then C as okay. I don't have D as bad because I don't think there's actually bad champions out there. I feel like all champions can be good if you're actually really good with them. So I think everyone has their own niche in this list. And we're starting off with KirbZM. I definitely think there's better supports out there than KirbZM. I don't think he's bad though. He's around in the middle, so he's either A tier or B tier. I might swap him in A tier later on, but I'll keep him in B for now. They changed his ultimate, which is so much better now. So for those people who don't know, his old ultimate is only damaging the enemies and also slowing them, but now I've asked for this for so long and I'm sure everyone else is asking for this. Now his ultimate can heal allies if you're inside his ultimate, which is so much better. I still think he's better with double support though. I don't really think he's good at solo supporting. That's why I don't want to put him too high as well, because I feel like if you want to make him work, there has to be another support. But I would definitely say for sure that he's so much better compared to last time. Furia, I would definitely say is, I would say better than KirbZM, so I'll put her in strong. The reason why I also put her higher than KirbZM is because she can actually solo support. You don't need another support when there's a Furia because she can just out heal everyone basically. Especially if you're using Solar Blessing talent. This talent is just so strong. For some reason, even in the late game when there's 90% anti-healing, this talent can still work very well. And the thing that I love about Furia is that most supports in the late game kind of falls off because of the cauterize, of course. But with Furia, because of your ultimate where you can kind of go damage as well, she's still gonna be so good in the late game. She's also not very hard to use, so if you're like new to the game, for example, if you're in bronze, if you're in silver, if you're in gold, she can work in any ranked possible. Even in the higher elo, she can work very well. She just has everything. She can stun enemies, she deals good damage, she can heal pretty well if you're using the right talent, of course. And her ultimate, I think her ultimate is one of the best support ultimates out there, so you cannot go wrong with Furia. Next up in the list is Grok. I think Grok is worse than KirbZM, so I'll put him right over there. I might even drop this guy on C tier because I rarely see this guy. I feel like there's no reason for you to play Grok because there's so many other supports out there that are just way better than Grok. Like, don't get me wrong, he can definitely be really good, especially his ultimate is like so strong whenever there's a fight happening, but I feel like everything that he does, someone else does better. His healing output, someone else does it better. His escape ability, someone does it better. His ultimate is actually up there, but someone can definitely do it better. So overall, he's just getting outclassed by everyone else in my opinion. So I might actually drop him down to C tier because I think there's way better supports out there. I will say though, in some maps he can definitely work very well, especially if it's a small map like Ice Mines or Bright Marsh. So he's a very map dependent in my opinion, and you also need to rely on your teammates grouping up a lot because they need to stay on the totem, and that's kind of let's be honest, not a lot of people stay on his totems. Grover, it's kind of the same as Grok, but I do think Grok is a little bit better sadly. Everything I said to Grok is literally the same as Grover. If we compare Grover and Furia, you can play Furia in any map. She wouldn't have a problem with it. With Grover, if it's a really massive map, you cannot do anything. Especially because everyone else can do a lot better as well than Grover. And his healing output is not the best. It requires you to stay on Grover. Like, what if you don't? Like, what if there's a flanker like all the way over there? Like, you cannot do anything. You get no healing if you're a flanker. The only people benefiting from Grover's heals are the tanks. And that's basically it. The damage is probably all the way at the back as well. The flankers behind the enemy. So it's very hard to heal everyone with Grover. Especially late game. I think late game he's useless. But again, if it's a small map, he can definitely be a lot better. You can definitely make him work in the lower elo as well, but I don't see a lot of pro players use Grover. I think Grover is deserving some buffs, hopefully. I'm gonna put Io in A tier. Io, you cannot go wrong with Io as well. It's just kind of like Furia, where it doesn't matter the team comp or the map, she can be good at any of them. Now, for some reason, I don't actually see a lot of Io players in the higher elo. She's getting outclassed by other supports, which I'm gonna mention later on. She's doing a lot better in the lower elo, but I feel like you can still make her work in the higher elo if you're actually good with Io. Now, her healing output is pretty good. Late game, it kind of falls off, but you know, it's still pretty good. Having Luna as well as the pet is like so good because you have someone that can do damage and also heal at the same time. Her ultimate is meh. It's only really good if you're getting flanked and you need to push them away or kill them or something, but most of the time your ultimate is very niche. And I also think she can be good in any ranked. Obviously, she kind of falls off in the higher elo you go, and you cannot really go wrong with Io as well. She's not very difficult to play, so if you're new to Paladins or trying to learn supports, Io is pretty good start. I think Genos is kind of similar to Corvus. I think Corvus is slightly better, so I'll put Corvus in front. Genos did get a lot of changes, so he's definitely doing, I think, a lot better than last time. He used to be the best support, but they kind of just nerfed him way too much. He's kind of just like in the middle ground right now, and I have the same problem with Corvus and Genos. You need a double support if you want to make these guys useful. If you want to solo support as Genos, it's kind of hard to make it work. It doesn't matter if you buy Rejuvenate and all that, your healing is not the best. Your tanks will die a lot of times if you're the only support Genos. So that's the problem why I'm putting them in good. They can definitely excel like really good if there's double support. By themselves, they're not that good. Lilith, I'll put Lilith in A tier for sure. Lilith is actually one of my favorite supports currently because of how fun and strong she is. If you want to go support damage, Lilith can do that. She deals so much damage. So if your playstyle is playing aggressively, doing a lot of damage and also healing, then Lilith is for you. But not only that, she can also heal quite a lot. Usually my damage and my healing are around the same. Like if my healing is around 150k, my damage is around 150k as well. And her ultimate can be really good as well in every team fights because it cannot be countered by Cauterize. Everyone is just having a lifesteal. The only problem with Lilith is that she's kind of difficult to play for sure. She's not your standard support that can just, you know, do some healing and stuff. She definitely requires a lot more skill. I mean, her primary attack is not very easy to land, and I think she's good in any ranked. She kind of falls off the higher you go, but if you're not master or grandmaster, she can still be really good. And here goes the best support in the game currently, Maldamba. Maldamba is just doing everything currently, and I'm surprised he hasn't gotten like a really good nerf. I think he got some nerfs in the recent update, but it's not like crazy nerfs. This guy can just do everything. He has a good damage, he can stun, he can heal really well. Like this guy just has everything. Although the problem with this is that he is probably the hardest support to play in my opinion. Maybe not the hardest, maybe like at least in the top 3 hardest supports. Every pro players thinks that Maldamba is just the best support currently, and in the higher elo they're just spamming this guy. It's either you insta pick Maldamba or you ban Maldamba. I'm pretty sure he also has one of the highest win rate in supports right now, so yeah, he's just doing really good right now. Moji fell off hard. She used to be like really strong, but I was gonna put her here actually, but I'll put her in good. She's also kind of map dependent, kind of like Grover and Grok, but I think Moji is slightly better. In the right maps, she can definitely be A tier if you ask me. But the thing that I like about Moji is that she heals a lot, and also the fact that she has damage immunity, or not damage immunity, damage reduction, and the fact that if you have the right build, she can give shields, and the fact that every team fight you can eat someone as a cookie, and it's 4v5. Based from my research, I also don't really see her a lot in the higher elo. She's good, but could be better. Pip is I would say also good. Now let me just get this straight, by the way. If you're an average Pip player who just casually plays Pip and stuff, Pip is, you know, in the middle. He can be good, you know. But I've definitely seen some cracked Pip players. Oh my god, they're like so good. Like they're making Pip S tier. I'm not even kidding. The only problem with those players is that they're so hard to find. But average Pip players out there, they're not that good. And also I feel like he kind of falls off a lot in the late game. I feel like Pip is kind of useless in the late game because of you can buy Unbound for his ultimate, so his ultimate is already countered, and if it's 90% anti-healing, it's kind of just game over. But the fact that his escape is really good, the fact that you can kind of go damage as well if you need to, and the thing that I like about Pip as well that I forgot to mention is that he's really hard to flank. Good luck trying to kill a good Pip. Ray, I think, is also around good because she's definitely map dependent. Not only she's map dependent, but I feel like your team needs to be like really good as well to make her work, because if your teammates are all over the place, like your flank is over there in the left side, your tank is for some reason in the right side, like really far away, your damage is all the way at the back. So if your teammates are not very coordinated, and if it's the wrong map for you, then she kind of falls off a lot. She's definitely really strong though, and probably the most annoying support out there. Her ultimate is really good as well. She can definitely be really good in the right hands as well. I've seen some crazy Ray players. It's so hard to kill anyone if the Ray is really good. So she can definitely be an A tier, but again, map dependent, and I feel like your teammates needs to be together to make her work. And I also think Ray is better than Genos, so maybe even Moji. So I'll put her there. Ceres is definitely, she's really good in the lower elo, but the higher rank you go, she's completely useless. I'll put her in okay, but the highest of okay. If you're in the low elo, Ceres is definitely probably S tier for you. If you're around bronze to maybe gold or maybe even platinum, Ceres can definitely work for you because she can heal quite a lot, and she's also very straightforward, and her ultimate is really good. But the higher elo you go, diamond and higher, she just falls off. She just doesn't do very well. They can kind of make her work if you're kind of like a Ceres specialist, but even then, I don't recommend it. There's just way better supports out there. There's like Moldamba, there's Furia, there's Ying. Like there's just so many supports out there that are just way better than Ceres. The problem with Ceres as well is that she's a heal bot. She doesn't offer a lot in the table, just a heal bot. You can kind of go damage as Ceres as well, but that's basically it. I definitely think the new Ceres nowadays is so much better than the old Ceres back then, but yeah, sadly she's only good in the lower elo. And the last support, Ying, I'll definitely put in Moldamba territory. I'll put her in best as well. Ying, in my opinion, is a way better Ceres in terms of like heal bot. She can be a heal bot for sure, and her escape is so much better than Ceres. And in the support category, I've been a Ying main for a very long time. Ying is my favorite support to play. In my opinion, she can heal so much. Her escape is probably the best escape in terms of support. It's so hard to kill a really good Ying player, and her ultimate is so good. Her ultimate is at least top 3 best support. She doesn't have any crazy CC where she can stun people and stuff or slow people. That's why Moldamba is still higher, but she can heal so much. She probably has one of, if not the highest healing output in this game, and even in the late game she is still so good for some reason. And again, the only problem with Ying, she's kind of difficult to play. So if you want to play her, you're gonna be struggling a little bit, but trust me, she's definitely worth it to learn. She's so fun to play, and she's really good. So guys, do you guys agree with my tier list over here? Comment down below if you guys agree with me or not. But again, keep in mind that this is only my opinion, but I have done a lot of research on this video. I've researched who are like the top supports currently based from pro players, so I think I did a really good job on this list. At the end of the day, this is my opinion, and this is also my tier list, so yeah, fuck you. It's my tier list, you know what? It's fuck you. But anyways, that's it for today guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. See you everybody.